Well, here we are at the MG Car Club Social at the British Motor Museum in Gaydon, and Adam, we made it happen. Here it is, and there's cars here.
At last, it's almost like a real event. We've had such a strange year, but to see so many people here and to have so many cars here is really heartwarming.
Well, of course, MG Live didn't happen at Silverstone back in June, so this is, as you say, the first proper time this year, due to COVID-19, that we've been able to get together and get all of the members together and have an event. But there's a specific reason why it's this weekend. Tell us more.
Yeah, so on the 12th of October 1930, the MG Car Club was formed at the Roebuck Hotel in Stevenage, and we wanted to do something as close to the 12th of October to bring our members together and mark our 90th. So here we are on the 10th at Gaydon, which is a COVID-safe venue. So we've got the club together at long last.
And it's been important to have a venue like this to do it, because basically we haven't been able to organise events ourselves because of all the restrictions, but because this is a licensed area and a COVID safe area, we can actually put on an event at last. And what an event it's been, actually. There's been some amazing cars, and something that I spotted earlier on is something that you and I were talking about on the podcast over with the MGC register. There's an MGC over there with square headlights.
Yes, so that was a car that I remember as a child, and I think I said on the podcast that when I was a kid I thought the difference between an MGB and an MGC was the fact that the C had square headlights. And I remember seeing that car in a magazine, and Mike Horton from the C Register said, "Oh, you need to come and see it." So I went to look at it and I said, "That's not the same car." And he said, "But it must be, because there's only one." I said, "But I remember the car being British Racing Green." Well, in the 80s, when I would have seen it as a child, it was British Racing Green, but now it's been resprayed in its original colour, which is sort of like a fairly like a deep purple colour.
Aubergine, I think they were calling it.
Okay, if you want to. But yeah, it was brilliant to see it, and I remember that car so vividly. So to see it here today was really cool.
Well, I've got to be honest, it is quite chilly out here today, and we have had a few spots of rain, which makes it all the more amazing and impressive that some of the vintage MGs have turned up as well. Some stunning Triple M cars out there, some lovely, I saw a lovely Y-Type actually a little bit earlier on. Those guys have really put a lot of effort to come here, especially those that don't have wet weather gear.
Definitely, proper hardcore MG heroes, I think. So yeah, really cool to see those cars.
And from the very old pre-war stuff to some brand new stuff, because literally just over there we have the new lineup from MG Motor UK, including, and we've talked about this a lot on the MG Car Club podcast, that brand new MG5 EV, and it looks good in the flesh, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look really good. I've had the benefit of having sort of 24 hours with the car, and I brought it up for MG today from home, and yeah, it's a really impressive bit of kit. And I mean, I'm not an EV owner, but I think I could see myself becoming a convert to plug-in cars, purely because of that instant torque. You know, you can't help but end up with this stupid grin slapped across your face when you put your foot down, and all that power is there straight away. So yeah, really cool.
Well, of course, we've talked a lot about it, the fact that they're making cars that people really want to buy, and the September figures have just come out for MG Motor, where they've absolutely smashed pretty much every other manufacturer with their sales figures. So it's really great to have them here supporting the MG Car Club, and of course giving us the opportunity to get up close to all of those brand new models. But it's been great walking around the cars that are on show out there, because you see such diversity within the MG Car Club, don't you? And in particular, over there next to each other is a car, a Z, and parked right next to it is a Magnet. That is the diversity in one shot, isn't it?
Brilliant. That's exactly what we want to see. And for me personally, I was really pleased because I got to see one of my favourite MGs ever. And we've got all these lovely cars here, and I went to the guy who owned it and I said, at long last, we've got all these MGs parked together, but we've finally got a proper MG here. And the guy who was driving it was an MG 1300. He had the biggest grin on his face when I said that, because I love the 1300. You just don't see them about. So to see one here today was brilliant. And I did ask him if it was for sale, but yeah, it's a bit beyond my means.
We'll find one for you yet, you know. I think if we had an award for the cutest MG here at the show, that would scoop it, I reckon.
Definitely. Totally agree.
As you've walked around, Adam, obviously that car in particular has taken your eye, but I mean, I noticed the MG SVRs that were all parked up together over there, 4 or 5 of them together, which is, how often do you see that? But what other things have caught your eye?
So for me, I think what really sort of touched me today was the collection of MGBs. So with Don Hayter sadly passing away yesterday, we decided that we wanted to gather together as many MGBs as possible in the parking area as a tribute to Don and his work with MG. So to see, easily 100, if not more, MGBs lined up together on a day like today was really special. So I think that was a standout for me.
Absolutely, and as you say, it was great to just sort of honour the memory of Don, because he was instrumental in the design of the MGB that not only was the biggest selling MG ever made, of course, but also it really put MG into the mainstream, didn't it? It was the MGB was the car that everyone knows as an MG. When you say MG to people out on the street, that's what they think of.
Yeah, definitely. If you ask someone to sketch you an MG, they would draw you something that looked like an MGB. And, Don was 93 when he passed away. An amazing life, an amazing legacy. And having that MGB and all the people that love the MGB is an amazing tribute to him.
Well, of course, here at the British Motor Museum at Gaydon, it's not just the MGs in the car park that are looking great, but also the MGs inside in the museum. And I'm just about to go in and have a look around the lovely display there. They're actually running this as a special feature of all the land speed record cars in there. And that's an important part of MG's history. And they've done a real good job in there putting them all together, haven't they?
Yeah, it looks amazing. And if you've not had the chance to see it, since they've done a lot of work with the collection here at Gaydon, it's well worth coming up. And it's a lovely day out. So yeah, do go and see those land speed cars.
Well, Adam Sloman, General Manager of the MG Car Club that is 90 years old this weekend. We didn't think it could happen, but we've pulled it off. We've got all the MGs together, and brilliant to see so many car club members here enjoying themselves. I'd like to say enjoying the weather, but probably not that, but just enjoying the cars and enjoying the company. And a message, I think, from you, Adam, in the 90th year to what you foresee happening over the next 10 years, perhaps.
Gosh, that's a big question.
Get your crystal ball out now.
I think the future for the car club looks very exciting. We've got the support of and a partnership with a manufacturer that's clearly going places and clearly doing very, very well right across the world. And for us, it's really exciting, and we want to bring as many people who are new to MG into the community, so that they can experience some of these classic cars, some of these vintage cars, and realise just what an amazing story and what an amazing community and lifestyle they become part of with an MG. So yeah, I think the next 10 years will be really exciting.
Well, if you want to hear more from the MG Car Club, don't forget our podcast comes out every week, and you can find it at mgpodcast.uk.